All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Josh Hennig, and the intern Andrew Leeds pushing the buttons today. We've been talking Phillies baseball, and the Phillies, of course, finished their series in Colorado at 3:10 today, first pitch. The Phillies are in the win column now. They're 20 wins, 19 losses, and every Sunday we get to go on the mound with Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers. A longtime partner of the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at herocampaign.org. And remember to be a hero. Be a designated driver. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome in former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green. Good morning, Tommy.
What's up, Billy? How y'all guys doing?
Tommy, I know this is May, and if my memory serves me correctly, something really big happened to you in the month of May, I believe, in 1991.
Oh, that was just a few years ago. It's hard to. I'm so old now, I can't half remember.
Tommy, tell us what it was like. I guess you get to the seventh inning, and the players start realizing that you're 3 innings, you're pitching well. You're 3 innings away from maybe a possible no-hitter because I believe you walked somebody, but I
walked a ton.
Yeah, but you walked a ton. But I mean, people don't want to. They don't want to get near you. They don't want to talk to you, right?
Well, I mean, they sort of give the pitcher their space anyway while they're on the bench. But in Montreal that day, the bench is the dugout is not a big dugout, and the relievers are in the dugout too. It's just a little partition separating the regular bench and the bullpen, so everything's all together and there's not a lot of room. So, I mean, I just had my little spot where I sat at every inning and just, did my normal thing. They leave you alone. They sort of give you room when things started materializing more during the course of the game. You could feel, and I noticed. I was like, I had more space. They give you more space.
Well, Tommy, are there pitchers that like people to interact with them? I mean, everybody's different. Are there like who? Did Dutch Dalton continue to talk to you? I mean, it wasn't normal, right? It wasn't normal in there.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, if there's something go on, me and Dutch would talk. I mean, but pretty much, in between innings, you're pretty much decompressing just a touch. I mean, just to kind of come down and relax a little bit. And but as far as I'm concerned, with me, I didn't mind people talk. Me having a communication with somebody, talking kind of broke the. You need to break the intensity. Yeah. I did. Yeah. To kind of settle down a little bit and breathe, and you talk with the trainer or you do what you need to do. I mean, especially if you got a hot day on that turf in the vet. I mean, it was like 95 degrees out and you're pitching an afternoon game, and I mean, that ammonia water we used to have, crushed ice and put a little ammonia on the towel. I mean, in the water, and you soak the towel, put it over your head, man. There was nothing better to bring you back to life, a little bit. And the trainer was a godsend for that, So, I mean, it kind of brought you back. And, I was one of those that talk. You know me, Billy. Yeah. Me and you are sort of after the same mold.
Well, I don't know, though. Tommy, I've seen you on the golf course, and you're all business, man.
Well, hey, there's time when you cross the white lines, you have to put up or shut up, So you have to go, So I treat golf like I did pitching a little bit. You go back there. I mean, I try to repeat my actions, So if I got something good going, I'm trying to do that.
All right. So Ranger Suarez was on the hill last night, and what did you see out of Ranger? What did you like? What did you think he still needs to work on? I mean, I think he went forward.
Well, I didn't get a chance to really look at him like I needed to by what I was gathering, because I was at a function or a get together last night, and when things were going on. But what I gathered, the way he was talking, I mean, he's to me, he's not quite where he needs to be. Anytime you start giving up, I mean, he gave up quite a bit of doubles, extra base hits, and seven hits in 4 innings. I mean, that means you got a lot of base runners on. So the good thing that come out of it, he got tested, and he got tested out there, I mean, at the big league level. He gets to a little bit, no matter if you pitched there or not, and whatever games you pitched in, you still get a little, the adrenaline gets going a little bit more. And, to calm his nerves a little bit, and then they'll get back in the saddle again. Hopefully, come off this out, and he threw 70-some pitches where hopefully his arm, bounces back and does what he's been doing. Because no matter you get up, it's a different thing pitching in games. The intensity of pitching in a game like that, back in the big leagues, the adrenaline gets going a little bit. It's sort of like spring training a little bit. You kind of extend a little bit. We just hope. I just hope everything comes out. He has having a good day today and tomorrow, especially. Come off of that second day soreness, depending on what kind of guy he is. His soreness and stuff is, getting over it. But the positive thing come out of that, he didn't relinquish the lead. We got the lead early. He left the game. It was a 4-3 game. Kudos to the bullpen coming in and doing what they needed to do. And the big homer by Bryce, man, it was huge.
Hey, Tommy, this is Josh. I wanted you to give the audience a better understanding of why, for a pitcher, a place like Colorado is difficult. Because one of the things they were mentioning last night was about, hey, for a Ranger coming back in a place like Colorado, it's not like playing in the rest of the league.
No. Because the ball doesn't seem to do what you're accustomed to it doing. I can speak for myself as far as, the slider doesn't break, like you quite want it to. So you have to start it in a different area, for it to take the break that it's taking, So, instead of being able to throw, like a 0 count slider, I used to go basically because I threw more of a true slider. I used to, pretty much Dutch would sit probably, just if there's a right-handed batter, he used to sit towards the outer half of the plate, shading that way, 0-0. That way I could start it pretty much down the center of his body, and break it, break it to more towards his right knee a little bit. And that put it more on the corner a little bit, but it was catching the outer half of the plate. So, and a lot of guys don't want to swing at that. Now in Colorado, that break doesn't take there. You got to move it more from the middle outer half to the outer half. Get it out there a little bit more for it to take the break a little bit, so it catches the part of the white on the corner right there a little bit more. You're not trying to be too fine 0-0 or something like that, but it doesn't quite break like it should. But if you ask me the key to pitching, and it's pretty much key to pitching in the big leagues, but the key to pitching in, Colorado a little bit more. And I tended to have a little bit of success out there because, I pitched there when it was a minor leagues, and then it went to the big leagues, and I always tended to pitch okay there. Is you have to pitch inside. You have to pitch inside with your fastball. You can't have those guys leaning out over the plate for that off-speed pitch out there or whatever that you're trying to hit, because the ball does go. It's like you're like playing with a Titleist out there a little bit. It stays in the air forever once it's hit. So you have to learn how to pitch that. The ball doesn't. The sinker quite doesn't. You sinker balls, you got to be down in the zone. You can't be trying to throw it down in the middle of the plate. Thigh high for it to dive down. It's not. You got to start it a little further down, and for it to do things. Same thing with the breaking ball. So you got to pitch. You got to start it a little. You got to be a little more aggressive away. With those a little bit so it takes the break and staying out of the middle of the plate, because they got a tendency to stay there a little bit. It doesn't quite move like you're accustomed to. But, then you come back to reality, to the East Coast, or, get out of the altitude a little bit and the ball starts moving all over the place again. And you have to get used to stuff like that. If you got that type of movement. Now, Ranger does. He's got some movement that does things. But, I look forward to him. It's all about him coming off this. He threw, 75 pitches or so. It's coming back off the end to be able to give us those innings we need now. For that starter, we need him to be able to go at least 6 innings. And the pitch count be up there for him to be able to do that.
Hey, Tommy Green, this is Andrew. So we were talking earlier on the show about Nick Castellanos and the season that he's been having, turning around from last year.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked you, I think it was like 5 games into the season, about how you thought about his improvement, and you reminded me that it is early. We got to check in, a month's time, see how he's playing. And so now I want to see what your thoughts on how he's been keeping that up, especially in the field. What are your thoughts on Nick Castellanos so far this season?
Well, it speaks for itself a little bit. He's hitting 300. Or over 300.
325.
Yeah, I mean, so the past week he's hitting 300. So I mean, he's doing it kind of week in and week out now, and that's that's the model of consistency, and that's what you want especially your big guys that you're paying good money to be able to do is week in and week out. I mean, it's tough to hit 300 in the big leagues. You got to give him a lot of credit. He's doing a lot of positive things, and being that guy, and especially since Bryce was out, and now that he's in, Bryce is swinging the bat. You can't ask for anything more than what he's doing, swinging the bat.
Talk about worth
Tommy.
Talk about worth every penny. Bryce Harper's he's just showing that he's truly the MVP. How about last night? The Rockies pitcher Ryan Feltner was beamed in the head. Speaking of Nick Castellanos, he hit a shot right off the pitcher's head. Tommy, for a pitcher, do you ever? Obviously, you know that can happen, but is that in your mind at all?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, as far as being gun shy, or I've had a few balls come back at me. I kind of felt by my ear, or something like that. You feel the wind go by. It was that close. It was hit that hard. You can't get your glove up in time. And I've been hit. A one hop linear off the foot, or a line drive off the arch of my foot. And then one hop line drive that bounces right in front of the mound. They hit it just as hard as they could, and then come up and hit me right below my kneecap, and I got lucky. That was in the minor leagues. I got really lucky. It hit me where they check your reflex, and went in the stands in Rochester, like behind home plate. It went the opposite way, all the way up in the top of the stands. And you get hit hard like that. I can't. I didn't never gun shy away something like that because I never got hit in the head. I've had to come in. I come into San Francisco when I was playing for Atlanta. I was in the bullpen, and Pete Smith was pitching for Atlanta. And I don't know if you remember Old Candlestick, how far the dugouts were from the mound.
Yeah.
They were forever. Pete Smith threw a pitch to a guy who was following through, and the guy hit a line drive, and it hit him right above his right ear, up on his head, and went directly over the dugout, or third base dugout, into the stands about 20 rows up. Is how far it went. And it cut him. They had to take him out of the game. Who's the guy that come into the game? Me. So something like that. You see that happen. It's stay out of the middle of the plate.
Right.
It's so like every time I see Milt Thompson, I was like, and if I'm facing Milt Thompson, he knows I'm coming in on him because I'm not throwing him a ball out over the plate, out or half or somewhere right there to where he was taught and how to hit. He stays up the middle with everything, and he hits line drives everywhere. You got to know who you're dealing with sometimes, You start getting out over the plate, guys that are really good contact hitters that got a little bit of thump. You start letting them get extended like that. You're playing with danger. Now, you see the balls that come up the middle; they're pretty much out of half of the plate.
Yeah.
And it's where the hitters are taught to stay up the middle and stay to right center. So when that stuff happens, it's a ball that probably more so has gotten, over the middle of the plate too much, which, that's going to happen. You just hope it don't hit you in the forehead or anything like that.
Well, last night, Castellanos' reaction was pretty telling. He knew he got him good. We're going on the mound with Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Today, Aaron Nola against Freeland. Nola is settled in. He's like 3-2 with a 4.44 ERA. What do you think of Aaron Nola's his game so far this year? How he's pitched?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's just like obviously everybody sort of cut off. To a slow start a little bit. Except the young guys really in the rotation kind of picked us up a little bit, gave us a chance to win some ball games early, and even though we didn't win them. But the big boys have kind of righted the ship a little bit and have trended in the right direction. And it's like we talk about all the time. When we start talking about them, I don't want to talk about too much. I want to leave well enough alone. Let them keep trending in the right direction where they're going. And the key to Aaron has always been his fastball command, which opens up the other things for his secondary pitches. Is that's that great breaking ball and obviously the changeup and stuff that he has. That's real well. And he's added the cutter a little bit. I call it a cut slider, but it is what it is. But he's trending in the right direction. And the positive thing, I was looking at things this morning. Look, Vic, you look at this past week. The pitching staff walked 6 guys, I think, during the week.
Yeah, and that's how you win.
So that's you're keeping runners off base, especially. So like Ranger last night, he walked 1 guy.
Right.
But he gave up 7 hits. What if he walked like 4 guys and he gives up the hits?
Yeah.
Then you're in trouble. You start giving up runs more. So that's the key. They talk about walks. That's a huge thing.
All right, Tommy, it's Mother's Day. Tell all the mothers that you know and love, happy Mother's Day from us. And we really appreciate talking to you every Sunday. On the Mound with Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Thanks, Tommy.
You got it, guys. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
All right, there he is, Tommy Green on the Maserati of the main line. On the Mound with Tommy Green is brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers, a longtime partner of the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at herocampaign.org, and remember to be a hero. Be a designated driver.